Hello Libra, and welcome to your monthly forecast. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. We're going to be taking a look at the next 6 to 8 weeks, focusing on the month of November 2022. And my goal each and every month is to give you exactly what you need to basically see the opportunities and some of the challenges and make the best decisions for yourself. This is all about free will and empowerment, so I'm glad you could join me today. If you've never been here before, or if you just need a quick recap, here's what we're going to do. We always begin with channeled messages. Today, as I was connecting with dream energy and also did some additional research, we'll be focusing on the horse and how the horse is going to symbolize movement, freedom, and liberation. So more on that in just a moment. Once we talk through the channeled message, then we'll get into the Celtic Cross. And the Celtic Cross, of course, on at least the way that I read it, is going to be very open. So it's not just career or love. It's also kind of like personal growth as well. Then I'll expand it to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny after that. There's a lot more to come, but we'll get into those sections as we move through the reading. Before I begin, please do me a favor and subscribe, and also hit the bell and opt into all notifications. This way, you have a chance to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my live videos, my premieres, any of the daily readings that I do, and the other news and information that I post here. You can also join me across social media. My handle's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. No alterations there, except Twitter, which is nashbaugh. And by doing this, you'll also get a second reminder just in case, for some reason, the YouTube ones don't come through. Remember that I don't offer any private readings and I don't use direct messaging, so that's a big red flag if you see that somewhere else. This is the best way to connect with me here in live chat. And if you want to show some love and support, you can do that through SuperStickers, Super Chat, and membership. There's also a new option with membership where you can gift it if you feel like doing that. All of these things are optional, but they do help the channel, so thank you if you feel called to do that. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead now and talk about the channeled message here. What I saw in dreams was just this beautiful wild horse running through the fields. And when I meditated, I was drawn to talk a little bit more about the horseshoe and the hooves of the horse as well, which we'll get into, because they really help us understand why the symbol came up for Libra in this particular month. So wild horses don't have to worry about having somebody come and basically trim their hooves, because what happens is they'll keep growing, and if there's a domestic or domesticated horse and they don't have the hoof trimmed, then they start to have problems walking and it causes issues. But in nature, a horse will travel several kilometers per day, go across a lot of different terrain, rocks and hills and mountains, and this naturally wears it down. When a human takes care of a horse every 3 to 4 weeks, I think it was like 6 weeks max, someone has to come in and basically grind that down and make sure that the shape is okay and that there's not too much growth. Just like we cut our nails, they have to basically have the same thing happen for the hoof. So I chose in this particular slide to highlight the Eight of Cups because it's a return to nature. We actually see someone in this beautiful illustration walking out, taking a break, taking a sabbatical, deciding to basically step away from something so that they can gain perspective, so that proper growth can happen as well. Sometimes we are inhibited by a limiting environment. It could be work, school, or a relationship, and this is about taking a breather. So it feels like some of you out there, some of you Libra, are ready to take a breather, and you need to get clarity and basically unplug from a situation before you can decide, should I stay, should I go, or what do I want next? Because there's been so much hard work, maybe immersion, or just you've been so plugged into everybody else, something that happens a lot with Libra, that you need to find you. And I think that's the big opportunity so far for this month ahead. And I'll be very curious to see if this card or something similar to it, maybe like the Fool or anything that kind of shows a need to break away, Six of Swords, something where there's travel or movement comes through when we look at the cards. All right. What I wrote here is that you're stepping into an opportunity to create your own path. You're not in anyone else's footsteps. Your path is your own. That's what I put here as the title. But sometimes we look at the legacy of our parents or the pressure of society or even our partner for us to fit a mold. We talked a little bit about that on the weekly collective on Sunday. And the encouragement here is for you to find your own path and do what you're supposed to do. And we'll get more into that in just a second. Because whatever's going on right now, just like a domestic horse doesn't have the ability to kind of like take care of itself, or the growth of the hooves is inhibited. Once you kind of get out in the world and do your own thing, you find your natural shape, you find your natural form. You don't have to hold back. You don't have to cut things off or remove things from your personality or energy. You can be yourself. And that's really what the liberated horse was bringing through, and the hoof in particular. And again, I love doing these readings because I learn new things too. And this is one of the things that I wasn't aware of. All right. I wanted to get into the myth of like what makes the horseshoe lucky. And there's a lot of different things that I was kind of stumbling across, but one thing seemed to kept coming up again and again, and this was about this abbot of Glastonbury Abbey, basically a bishop, and I guess his name is Saint Dunstan. And as the folklore kind of goes, basically the devil paid him a visit one night and asked him to put a shoe on one of his hooves, a cloven hoof, basically. And he did it in a way that purposely caused the devil pain so that he would go away, and only agreed to remove it if the devil made an agreement with him not to come back. Anytime he saw the horseshoe, he would stay away, and so it became a lucky symbol. But what all of this basically brought in was the symbol here in tarot of limitations. And that's basically all the devil card represents. It's limitations. I really like this, and we'll be using this deck today because it shows something that looks good on surface, but you know that you need to be discerning, and you know that you need to protect yourself. I think what it really brought through, because we're, again, focusing a lot on the horseshoe, the horse foot, even the hoof of the devil here, it's saying put your foot down and say no to bad contracts, create limits and boundaries, and hold firm to them as well. If something seems too good to be true, dig for the details, ask for more, push back. You don't have to agree to something that doesn't feel or seem or resonate as right with you. And what we see here in this illustration are the sort of strings. They are just strings, but the devil wants to sometimes pull the strings. Remember, you are the one that pulls the strings to your own life. And when it comes to love and contracts, there should be no strings attached. So we're looking at unconditional support and contracts and things that are on a higher energetic level. So as the month begins, there may be a little bit of residue. I believe that by getting distance, as we see in the Eight of Cups, you will get the clarity necessary to recognize what we see in this slide. So take a break, take a breather, talk to someone else, clear your head, clear your mind, come back and look at this with fresh perspective. And if it looks too good to be true, if it's not good enough for you, if there's something that just doesn't feel right, trust in that, okay? Now, I believe, honestly, that we make our own luck. So the lucky horseshoe was a reminder that you can manifest luck. So rather than seeing luck as random, view it as a synchronicity that's born out of manifestation. The Two of Wands and the High Priestess are basically the keys that help us figure out how and where to manifest. The Two of Wands is an ace that is basically now being brought into the world. So we were talking on the weekend about the Ace of Pentacles. We're now looking at Ace of Wands here for you, Libra. So this is something that's starting here, this idea or this fire in your belly that you want to do something about. And the second one is, how am I going to bring it from within into the physical realm? We see the person in the Two of Wands holding on to one of the two wands, one that's internal, one that he's planted in the world. And he partners with the High Priestess energy. So this is seeing it, acting upon it, and then she's also tuning in and opening up the synchronicities. And she's seeing new ways to bring it about. So the globe is sometimes a crystal ball in the Two of Wands. But anyway, it's about envisioning, taking action, and then also being open to receiving new ways to do this. So you have to be open and active. I put it at the bottom. Vision plus belief plus action equals manifestation. See it, believe it, follow through on it, and then the opportunity opens up for you. Meditating alone, not enough. Acting without believing, not convincing. Might take longer than necessary. And just believing but not doing anything about it is the same as meditating on it but not breathing life into it. So we need all three. See it, do it, and believe it. You bring those three together, it's like the Holy Trinity that would bring in the Three of Wands. It's the next piece in this. So the High Priestess plus the Three of Wands, or Two of Wands, will bring you that Three of Wands, which is, it's happening, okay? You make your own luck. And if you feel like you're unlucky, release that belief. And today you're going to set the intention that you are powerful, you are capable, you're going to do something about the things that you want in your life. You're going to find a way to do it, and you can do it, and things can and will happen in a positive, energetic cycle for you. We all experience setbacks. It could be monetary loss, it could be an injury, it could be something that just comes out of the blue and we think, how and why is this happening right now? So you can meditate on that, but you can also say, this doesn't define my energetic cycle. This is one thing, I'll learn from it. I'm not going to repeat it, and I'm not stuck in it. Don't blend in. This is the next piece here. When we're thinking of like a Mustang or a wild steed or a feral horse that's out in the hills, it is not tethered to the chariot. It is not a beast of burden. It is free. And if I think of two of the boldest, most beautiful, most free sort of energies here, and the ones that call the shots as well, it's the sun and the star. They're two stars, different words for the same thing. The sun is playful, it's youthful, it's charismatic. So one part of your personality that all Libras have is the charisma. So you're being asked to turn up the charisma a little bit. The star card is sometimes the difficult part for Libra, because a lot of what Libra does is balance out other people. And sometimes there's a fear of kind of shining too brightly or getting in the way of somebody. But this month, rather than blending in, rather than putting too much energy into diplomacy, what you're really being asked to do is to take all the beauty, all the ability to communicate and to help others shine, and put that into your own energy this month, so that for some of you, maybe you can breathe life into something. So for some of you, you can break a cycle that shows up as being unlucky, but it's really just a matter of you saying, no, I'm taking the reins back. And ultimately, to move on to something else, to make and break cycles. That's really the opportunity this month. And to shine as brightly as possible. This is not a time where you have to blend into the background. Even if it's something that you're used to, you're being asked to sort of step out of that and to be bold. So I hope that I can help you do that this month as we look at the cards, and that's a nice segue into the next portion. So if you just joined, a quick reminder, we're going to go and look at the Celtic Cross and expanded forecast next. This month I'll be using the Lightseers deck, and if you want to support the channel, I'll put a link here in chat so that you can go to my website and purchase it there. I always get questions about that. I may try to remember to put the links out for the main ones so that you can find this deck if you'd like to. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at all of the cards and all of the messages for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Again, you can watch this for your sun, rising, and moon sign, and I will also delve a little deeper into that. You can also use it for any aspect of your chart, but those three, I'll make sure that I also help to bring some more energy into as we look at the latter part of this reading. All right, so there we go. Right off the bat, lovely synchronicity with the Two of Wands. Again, you make your luck. There we've got the star as well. So already off to a great start with some cool synchronicities. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see it. Okay. Okay. I like we actually got that sort of taking time for yourself here, which we were seeing with the Eight of Cups, just illustrated differently. So far, some really beautiful energies. Let's begin with your dual catalyst. Whenever I use this deck, more often than not, it comes through with duplicates, and that's okay. That's just telling me we've got a lot of presenting and sort of latent or nascent beneath the sort of surface energies that want to come through right now, and we'll deal with those. I love this card whenever it does appear because it plays some tricks on your sort of your mind here. It's a flat image, but look at it. If I hold it in just the right way, we can see the pyramid basically, right, of Giza. And the title on this one is The Box, and the box is upside down or reversed or inside out, however you want to look at it. So basically what it's saying is think outside of the box. People around you may wish that you were more conventional, may wish that you played by the rules more, or that you just sort of like said and did what they wanted you to do. But just like I was illustrating that devil card and saying it's your time to kind of cut the cords, and it may be cord cutting for some of you, this is really a chance to untether, unplug, and redirect. And whatever the limit was, or you thought it was, it really isn't. And again, if you were just to look at a box, but kind of look at it as a three-dimensional thing, or imagine that there is like a portal here, it shows you that this is just the beginning. You don't have to box yourself in. You weren't meant to sort of exist within the confinements or confining energy of whatever it was that they wanted to put out there. And you're going to be okay no matter what. Now we have the Temple card in reverse. And this is also saying that this is like the Hierophant reversed, because there's a very sort of introspective and self-empowered energy. As we take a look at maybe the past 2 or 3 centuries, there's been a lot of energy around structure and existing sort of when it comes to not just politics but religion, and people wanting to sort of like control and bring your sort of energy in the way they want it to be done. But basically, Hierophant reversed is saying my connection to God, the divine, and the universe, it's always intact. I don't necessarily need an interpreter. I don't need a certain way to get from A to Z. I'm allowed to take my own path. I can plug into the bigger systems when they serve me, but I don't need them to connect to source. So if we pull these two together, you're being asked to think outside of the box because the card was reversed. You're being reminded that there's more than one way to connect to source. The temple is within. The limit is not what it seems to be. There is another path. You're also further along than you think. You may feel like you're trapped in here, but this is saying, no, you're actually closer to the top. You're closer to a breakthrough than you might imagine. Really powerful cards, really powerful images as well. And I think some of you need to see that. You may be going through, some of you, a challenge or a difficult time right now, but it's short-lived, and there's something really beautiful that's waiting if you just push through. Particularly this period of time. By the end of November, I feel like you're going to feel like you're a completely new person or in a different space energetically, maybe even some of you physically. So let's continue the read and see what else is coming through. I was super excited, as you could tell when I was pulling cards, when I saw your center card. So let's talk about the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is reversed. So for some of you, this is a reset or sort of like a chance to refocus. We'll look at the card upright. She's still inside. She's stuck inside. She has her map. She has her globe. She's wistfully looking out and thinking, when will it happen? When is this going to come to me? So with both 2 and 3 of Wands, I always like to remind folks that it's about meeting the universe halfway. And with the 2 wands, you have to take one, you're going to hold on to the vision, but you're also going to take one thing and release it, put it out into the world. So she needs to get outside. She needs to take the next step. She's done enough sort of envisioning, enough internal work. And the next step of the journey is to release, to explore, to communicate with others, to basically put it out there and not to lose connection with this higher vision. So for some of you, you might have actually been so busy, like I said, over the past 6 to 8 weeks that preceded this, that you may have forgotten, oh, that's where I wanted to go. That's how I was going to do it. This is when I was going to do it. So it's about getting real and getting back to why and when and what you're trying to do. And then we have an action-based card crossing it, the Knight of Swords. It almost looks like he's trying to catch up, right? Like there's been some lost time, like he's very much in a hurry. One thing that I'd like you to do is to remember that time, I just talked about this on Sunday. We geeked out a little bit about comets, and I forget the name of the law, but there's a law in physics that basically when it gets a little closer to the sun, it speeds up. As it goes further into its orbit, it slows down. So for many of you, as you get closer to something that's important, as you start to feel the fire in your belly, then things start to speed up. And so if you are worried about lost time, just keep moving, but be careful, don't rush. We don't want to have a mistake happen. You don't want to miss something. I said this on the weekend and I like to reiterate it right now. You're exactly where you need to be right now. And instead of a horse, he has a motorcycle. So I already see this rapid kind of like catching up that's going to happen naturally for you. Keep your bird's eye perspective. Eight of Cups showed it, but so does this card. You have one foot on the ground, but you also have your feelers out so that you're seeing the big picture. You're going to catch up because naturally things are being set up to succeed for you. And you want to make sure that you don't make any missteps along the way. But ultimately, this is activation. This has with it a little doubt because it's reversed. So release the doubt, get back into what it is you're trying to do, and take action, not just like tomorrow, but today. Whenever you're seeing this reading, I want you to do something today. I encourage you to do something. You can do whatever you want, but I encourage you to do something today that is going to tangibly bring it forward. It more than just thinking. So there has to be something in the external world, whether it is calling, texting, emailing, or visiting, or delivering something, somehow creating an action that is going to create a reaction, and then every day doing something to kind of continue to move that needle forward and closer to the desired outcome. Let's look at what's coming through from deep past. We have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a beautiful card. So you may be, some of you, waxing nostalgic about friends or family or the olden days and thinking like, why can't it be like what it was? The lens of nostalgia is a warped lens. It's kind of like glasses that don't quite fit. You see things in a different way. But know this, you've done work in your life right now to also call in a really high partnership. So for some of you, there could be a friend from the past, a love from the past, even a past life that's going to come back into your life right now. You have a second chance with this person, a second chance to clear the karma for some of you, maybe say or do something that you meant to say or do. And and for some of you, this may just be a return to the inner child, a return to form, because this card really accurately shows, just like my buddy in the past here, or in the background here, it's showing like the puppy and the child, and now the grown dog and the grown man here. So for some of you, you're looking at your current self and you're thinking, okay, I'm pleased with a lot of what's happened, but I lost a little something along the way. Maybe because I had fear or doubt or uncertainty. Maybe because I rushed or I didn't do something along the way. So the inner child's coming through right now, and she or he is saying, now is the time to finish what you set out to do. It's never too late. You still have that energy here, okay? Now we have one of the things that could be holding you back. You have a couple here in recent past and also what we're looking at in the crowning position. Let's start with the recent past. By far my favorite Eight of Swords. I can say that without hesitation because it shows the illusion of the Eight of Swords, which is that you feel trapped or you feel unlucky or you feel like you're missing something or that people aren't getting you. One of the things, when we go back to that slide, I'm going to pull it up here, was belief and action and also envisioning it. But I'm going to pull the slide just because it helps to see. So let's go back to the channeled messages really quickly here. And we'll go back into kind of the keys to manifestation. because we all forget it sometimes and we think that we need, that we either have luck or luck finds us. So the very last piece right here where I said vision plus belief plus action equals manifestation, that's the important thing. Rather than luck being random, it's something that you're constantly doing. And rather than seeing value or, confidence in other things as something that, some people have and some people don't, this card is saying, no, you're going to cultivate that. So if we look closely, this is what the woman in the card is feeling. Like I don't know what's next, and I'm uncomfortable with the ambiguity, or I'm not being seen or heard, or I just don't know what to do. The truth of it is that she is stronger than she can see or believe here. So we see someone here untethered, unbothered, and strong, but in the mirror, what she's seeing is not what I am seeing or you are seeing here. So she needs to shift her internal vision, and that actually is the doubt, the only thing that's holding or disenfranchising that Two of Wands here at the center. The minute she lets go of that and sees what others see, then we have the Knight of Swords. Rapid action. Things start to happen quickly. Okay? We're going to talk now about the Seven of Swords, but let me see if there's anything else that I want to touch upon with the Eight of Swords. You can't ignore something. So if there's a physical issue going on, if there's something going on in your physical or mental health, this is basically saying talk to someone about it. Ignoring a problem, it may push it away for a day or two, but it doesn't get to the root of it. It's going to come back. We don't want that to happen. So talk to someone about it. Basically, information, education are key ways to get the Eight of Swords into a place where we're not uncomfortable, okay? And you can move on from that. And that's the most important thing. Now let's look at your crowning card. In the crowning position, we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords indicates a period in our life where, particularly when it's reversed, it's actually favorable right now. So Seven of Swords reverse is saying no nonsense, no more, nobody can kind of like get away with something anymore with you, because you are fine-tuning your third eye. That's why at the center we have the Two of Wands here. So you're more aware and more capable of seeing things from a big perspective, from a bird's eye view, than you were before, and you can see through the illusion that someone might be trying to put in front of you. So let's look at it upright. It's a great illustration. We see someone trying to get away with something in the middle of the night, and then we have that crow or that raven cawing and saying, no way. And so your higher self, your third eye, your voice within may be that crow or that raven that is sending off a little bit of a red flag or an alarm in your head saying, I don't know about this person. I don't know about this thing. There's something about it that's not right. I want you to trust that. If there's someone in your life that legitimately said, I'm going to do something, but they don't, then this is also about you speaking up and saying that doesn't work for me. Or I see what you're doing and I don't like it. Let's talk about this. Let's resolve this. So you're going to hold others accountable to the things that they said that they would do. They're not going to get away with it anymore. The universe is also gently nudging you to be as accountable, as honest as possible. And that's why these two cards in tandem are coming through. So this is saying, I can't afford to not look at this anymore. And for some of you, it might be something that you fell short of doing, and the inner child is coming through and saying, but it's never too late. You just have to believe, you just have to take action. So the universe is just holding you accountable to a hope or a dream. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be afraid of the Seven of Swords. It's just a get real card. It's saying, let's get real, let's fix this, let's face this, let's move on. Now, I often see Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, those are like siblings, but they're also the cousin to the devil. So even though we don't have the devil in the spread, the Seven of Swords is one of the minions of the devil, I should say. So you want to make sure that wherever that energy exists, that we're going to cut that out as well. We're going to prune out anybody that's not accountable. You're going to get rid of anything in your life where you said you were going to do something and you didn't. So clear debts, meet obligations, speak honestly and transparently to others, and hold them accountable as well as yourself. You do that, Seven of Swords is going to find someone else. Okay? Looking at near future, it's important to focus on physical health, mental health, and also just taking care of yourself, loving yourself. So we have this is one of my favorite cards with respect to strength as well, but we have a very empowered and combined masculine and feminine card here. So it's saying that we're letting go of anything in our life, particularly a a false feeling like only a certain type of person can do that. Ageism, sexism, gender biases, all of that. Like, we're going to let that stuff go so that you can feel empowered to step into your truth. That's part of this. The other thing is saying, if you've been wearing yourself ragged, working too hard, not sleeping enough, maybe there's been some stress going on in your life, that you're going to do what you need to do to take care of yourself, because our physical body is the vessel through which we channel the energy of the magician. So we have to be strong so that we can do what we've set out to do in this lifetime. So you're being asked from Spirit to take a moment or two this month to really focus on physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health, all of that, mind, body, and spirit, basically. So for each of you, the fine tuning will be in a different space, but there is a little bit of a pause that needs to happen before you can get into what we see in the environment, which is the star, which is exciting. Let's not get ahead of ourselves too far. Let's focus on what's coming through as you basically this month, in the ego, and also like what's just basically happening internally for you. So we have 3 of Pentacles in reverse, and it's almost the way that this person illustrated it, like a stoplight that's all messed up, because I think the red light's in the wrong position. The yellow should be in the middle. So what I'm seeing for some of you is mixed signals. So you could be getting mixed signals from a partner or from a place that you're working where it's kind of hot and cold. One day everything's good, the next day forget it. Or like a partner, you feel very connected, and then maybe if you show too much interest, they're pulling back. So one of the things that we see with the crowning card and with this is, if you see it and feel it, and then they get afraid of that, or if that needs to be dealt with. If you can't see it, other people are going to sense that, and then they doubt you, or they think that there's something that they need to look at. So the best piece of advice I can give you is to be consistent, clear, concise, and strong. Don't be afraid to stand up and say, I'm counting on you. If there's something that I need to know, or a reason that I shouldn't be counting on you, or that for some reason you have something that you need to tell me, say that now, because I don't want to have this conversation again later. This is your chance to come clear, to voice any concerns, because I see you as a partner and I'm relying on you. Whether that's friendship, business, or love, you can use the same sort of energy. Because you're normally very diplomatic, because you may normally give them a lot of, free rein, if and when you decide to step forward and hold them accountable or have that kind of conversation, it's going to be very effective. You can temper it to a degree. You can be much more, sort of amicable. But I do think there's a piece there, which is, I am counting on you. Can I count on you? Is there a reason I shouldn't be able to? Let them know that this is important. And just like when a parent does that or a teacher does that, it kind of wakes you up and you think, no, I'll do this. Or they're going to say, yeah, you know what? I've been meaning to talk to you about something. So we really need to make sure that whatever this is, if it's something that needs to be talked about, that's when you're going to do it. But they could just be picking up on your own doubt. So when you have released the doubt and say, no, this is what I want, you're going to be empowered, because that's what the Strength card is. She stands up for herself and isn't afraid to put her foot down, as we talked about in the Devil card earlier. That's going to clear up the mixed signals. Now, ultimately, 3 of Pentacles is one of the best cards you can get for recognition, completion, advancement. A lot of times it comes through with when you're going to college or school. It's showing me that whatever you've decided to invest in, this is worth your time and energy. The reversal of this card is a reminder that although it's really nice to get external validation on things like pat on the shoulder, job well done, gold star, it isn't always going to come through. The lack of this does not in any way, shape, or form lessen what's happening here. You're still learning, you're still advancing, you're still doing something great. It may come later in a form that you didn't expect or anticipate. So release the need to get it instantaneously. Release the need to get it in one shape or form, and realize there might be something better than you anticipated. You're doing whatever you're doing because it feels right, because you believe in it, and because the way that you're doing it is really going to help you or someone else or whatever. You're believing in the product and the process, okay? Ultimately, this is a great card showing that you're learning a lot right now. Even if there's something difficult and you're thinking, why me? Why now? And you're going through some internal sort of doubt, this is saying, don't doubt yourself. You're really learning and really shifting in an exciting way. These 2 cards are interesting. For those of you that are single and looking, this is past life love that could be coming through, because I look at this as a soulmate. This is past karma, and it's also soulmate energy, and this is you as well. All of these things are showing some exciting things for relationships, but we'll get into love in a few moments when I expand the forecast. Let's look at the environment first, which is what this card represents. I pulled the star earlier for you, and I had the star upright. So the star reversed is saying people around you may want you to be something different than you are. I mean, this happens a lot. I would say in almost every family, there can be an instance where a child or a partner or a sibling or somebody does something and you're like, that's not what I thought you would do. I want you to fit into this cookie cutter. And so you are saying there is no mold. I broke the mold when I came into this planet, and I'm continuing to explore and experience different things. So there's a free spirit or an unbridled energy or a sort of like energy that wants to break down the walls a little bit this month and own that, experience that, express that. This is also a card of expansion in the same way that the world would represent being able to be bolder, to experience new things, and to stand out. This card is doing the same thing. So let's look at it upright. She is connected to her higher self with this thread. It's almost like a kite that she's going out and flying a kite. But what she's really doing is connecting and plugging in. I mentioned that when we were looking at my channeled messages, the Eight of Cups would give you a chance to unplug. So some of you need to walk away, take a break, take a holiday, do some sort of vacation or meditation, and allow yourself to see who you are again. This is returning to form. And I mentioned that there were two cards that I was connecting with in meditation, which was Sun and Star. Sun is the inner child. We got it in a different form today. It's the Six of Cups, but Six of Cups and the Sun card represent two of the babies in tarot. Sometimes we can see that with the Fool. The Empress also contains a child as well, or the energy of a possibility for birthing something. But I see you as already being ready and out there. So the Star and the Sun are saying we're going to be bold, we're going to be authentic. That's the other thing with this, authenticity, and don't be afraid. Normally, this card would not have any clothing on, not to be salacious, but to basically be divine. There are a few cards like also the World card is half and half, and basically that's a demigoddess on that one. But basically, whenever you see it in Greek or Roman statues and paintings, usually it's the gods that are painted or shown in a statue without clothes. And again, it was because they have nothing to hold back or nothing to hide. They're being authentic. So the Star in this particular deck reversed is basically saying there's something that we're kind of pulling the shroud around ourselves, and basically it's time to be free. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else here. The other thing is people are looking to you for being strong, for being a leader, and you have a lot of leadership energy that what's missing here, like the Strength card is reversed and the Star card is reversed. So is the Judgment. All of these are very strong cards. And this one is about using your voice. We would normally see Archangel Gabriel using his horn on this one. This one is about being seen, and this one is about standing up. So we need to be bolder in action. We need to see more visibility and more believing in yourself. That's what's missing from the equation. But once you do that, this is highly transformative. We're going to move now into Judgment. This is reinvention, rebirth, and release from the past. Anything that was holding you back, any pattern that was not satisfactory, it's done, Libra. You've stepped into the new you. And that's probably ultimately what I will title this video is it's time to step into the new you. The only thing that's holding you back from that is disbelief, is fear or doubt or anxiety, or someone in your life that is projecting in your path this sort of shadow of doubt. And so what Judgment is doing is saying, I'm going within, I'm trusting myself, I'm going to take that leap of faith. Now, the reversal of this, there's a couple of other things that are coming through. I think this is really powerful for you. In this moment, in this lifetime, you're releasing something, possibly some ancestral energy that has been systematically coming through maybe your family and other people in your family, and now you're unshackling yourself from this, saying, I'm going to do better, and it could be in different areas. Maybe it's in wealth, could be in love, could be in being able to, maybe you're the first person to graduate or buy a house or do something significant that represents a change in form. Remember, you're not fitting into the mold, you're making your own, or you're being unbridled and free. But this is your return to your own form and your own sort of path, and it is going to be counter to what is expected. And because it's counter to what's expected, it's going to allow you to be more powerful and more happier basically than you've been in a long time. So allow yourself to do something different. We have one of the best cards that you could pull in the outcome here, the Queen of Pentacles. She can make anything not just work, but sustain. So the Queen of Wands, she's really good at surprising people and pulling things out of thin air. The Queen of Pentacles, she's the one that I want managing my finances, helping me sustain things. Also, she's the Eternal Mother card. So she's saying, take care of yourself, take care of what you're passionate about, and you're going to see a return on that investment. She's asking you to invest in the things that matter the most. She has a green thumb. Everything she touches is going to grow. And notice how she's taking some time to reflect. Her eyes are closed. She's sitting on a chair. She's protecting what matters, but she's also thinking, I'm grateful for everything that I experienced to bring me here. I am not doubting my power. She is unbothered, and she is without that sort of self-confidence issue that some of us may be experiencing right now. She's plugged in. We see the branches extending from her temples, representing kind of like what we would see in a lot of pagan imagery. But basically, whenever you see a stag or any sort of antenna, she's basically, or antlers, she's connecting to source. So she is powerful, plugged in, passionate, confident, and also unbothered by the people around her. You're not going to mess with this Queen of Pentacles, and no one's going to mess with you either, as long as you believe in your power. Everything in the spread, all the reversals, all the tricky cards, they brought us to an upright Queen of Pentacles. Power, passion, resources, and the ability to birth something. Second only to the Empress in sort of the abundance and fertility. I would say abundance, she's got maybe over the Empress, but because that's in the major arcana, it's a wash. But they're both cards for birthing, maternal energy, and fertility and abundance. So it's a really great time for all of that. Speaking about fertility, if you're not looking to start a family, this card serves as a warning, but if you are looking to start a family, you might also be pulling in a really deep soul. This is a past life energy. So the baby that you bring in is going to have bold spirit, very bold spirit. We have a lot of divine feminine energy coming through. I don't usually read gender, but I would say really nurturing, really loving energy for those of you that are trying to bring a child in. But for those of you that might be birthing a project, I also see this ability to surprise people, to make a splash, because it's just a different type of baby. It's something that you put your time and energy into. So it may be a product or a service or even something that you fostered within yourself, and it's worth it. It's totally worth the work that you've been putting into whatever you've been working on. Let me zoom out just a little bit so we can see better. Okay, that's about it. There's just a lot of cards on the table. All right, we're going to now expand the forecast. So let's talk about what we do in the expanded forecast. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Each one of these is multi-part, and each of them is going to reveal a lot about the spread that we hadn't already seen. We're going to begin with the health card first. And again, looking at health here, we have Thicket of Thorns, uncertainty. Very much connected with the 8 and the 7 of Swords. Let's look at the card upright and close up so you can get all the imagery here. So what I love about it is that we have the butterflies overhead. The butterflies are indicating that all of this is happening so that you can elevate yourself, so that you can move beyond. The difficult and the important thing is to not get snagged in other people's issues, and also to not let uncertainty hold you down or hold you back. Notice how we see a deer in the foreground. Well, I guess it's on the path in front of this person. The deer can also represent fear of quick movements. It's also saying maybe don't take a really fast movement here. So I would say be cool, calm, collected. And if something snags or if something scratches you along the way, pause for a moment. And like we've been talking about, deal with that. Don't let it continue. We want to deal with things in real time. And when it comes to relationships, when it comes to anything, even like we were talking about stuff that you're feeling in the body, when it's bothering you, when you get that itch or that scratch or that pain, better to deal with it then than to wait 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months when it kind of like becomes something bigger. So deal with people and problems and issues in your body in real time, and that's going to help you. And then you can get further along that path to the clearing, to whatever it is that you're supposed to be focusing on. This the snags that you're experiencing right now is to help you fix things. The butterflies and the deer are saying go slow, but realize you're going to rise above this. So whatever challenge you're dealing with, Libra, deal with it, and then something better awaits you. Let's look at the cards now. Again, as I do this, I just want to remind you, I'm helping you look at energy and opportunities. Just like I said, if there's anything going on in your body or in your mental health, you're going to talk to the appropriate professional. But I'm going to use cards to help us see some things that could be popping up in our lives at this moment. All right, so whenever we have 8 of Swords, this is an indication that might be time to take a look at the optometrist or ophthalmologist, make sure your eyes are where they need to be. It can also be hearing, so audiologist, ophthalmologist. Good time to check that part of your body out and not ignore something. 2 of Swords and 8 of Swords are about trying to ignore something. So it's going to be okay. Usually it's better than you think, but ignorance is not bliss when it comes to something going on in the body. So talk and ask and educate, and basically that will reduce that energy. Fatigue could be setting in because of a lack of sleep, or maybe inappropriate diet, or a lack of exercise. So work with your healthcare professionals to establish better habits in your life. Work is going well. You might just be working a little too hard, and that's why these two are connecting here. You're going to break a cycle, and some of you might have had a brush with something that scares you. So it could be a health risk, a brush with death, someone in your life you might have lost, and this is the wake-up call that you need to change habits in your life, and you're going to be okay as long as you heed that warning. And that's basically what this is saying. Heed the warning and manage things in real time, okay? And with the uncertainty, one last thing, and then we'll move into wealth, because this kind of affects wealth. One of the things here is that we all have a degree of fear or anxiety because it's a primal energy in the sort of like basic part of our brain. It helps us with survival. It helps us avoid things that could hurt us, but sometimes it gets out of hand. And if you're in that sort of energy where you're constantly afraid of something, definitely talk to someone. But one of the things that helps is that, you know, people that have stage fright or performers, a lot of times they just have to push through, or they use the butterflies to help them basically have a great performance. So everybody has those butterflies from time to time. If there are too many swarming around you, get some help. If there's just a few, you may be able to channel them creatively or use them to kind of help you make the most of this moment. I think when there's something at stake, when you want to ask someone out on a date, when you want to do really well on a test, when you want to have people love whatever the product or services that you're offering, you're going to get those butterflies because it's a part of you. You're revealing part of yourself. And that's definitely what we saw with the star. So just love who you are unconditionally, and don't pay too much mind to this. I think now there are no coincidences. Earlier today when I was kind of scrolling through social media, I saw this old video of Taylor Swift, and the song was Mean. It was like an old era when she used to still sing country music. But I researched the song a little bit. I'm like, why did this is kind of catchy. What's this about? She wrote about someone who basically was constantly saying mean things in the press about her. The song ended up getting her a Grammy, and she performed it at the Grammys. And what's kind of cool about this is you can take something in your life that may make you feel like say someone's judging you and they judge you harshly. Even that could end up backfiring on them and helping you in the long term. She turned it around into something positive. And she manifested what she said in the song, because I listened to the lyrics. I'd never heard it before. I kind of discovered Taylor later when she did like folklore and everything, and I've started to kind of listen to her back catalog occasionally. And the country stuff I haven't heard much. But in the song, she said, one day I'll be like strong and you won't be able to kind of hurt me or affect me. And she was manifesting a future more resilient, more abundant self in that song, and ultimately it won her an award, which I think is really cool. So don't be afraid to be judged. It's not going to affect you. take a note from her, make it something positive, bounce back, let the words bounce back, or use them, use the butterflies, use the energy in a different way. And that's what she did. She's like, this hurt me, this affected me, but I'm going to show them through my creativity that I'm not bothered by that. And you're not going to, I'm taking my power back, right? So take your power back and elevate it. It was a tongue-in-cheek song, but kind of cool. All right, now let's move on to wealth. Trust in the universe. The card is reversed. The flow may seem to be backwards, basically, antithetical to what you expected it to be. You want to be here, the universe threw you over here. You may feel in this moment, I'm tumbleweed. How can I ground myself? Maybe the universe wanted you to be uprooted a little bit and get to where you're at so that you could meet the right person, so that you could untangle or detether yourself from something that was kind of like an anchor, an albatross weighing you down. So trust that the universe has repositioned you or has focused your attention in a different direction so that you can see something for what it is, see a new opportunity that's coming through. We basically, in this card, see a spiral galaxy with a black hole and a gamma ray kind of pushing out through it. So to me, that shows both something leaving and something new coming, because it's constantly if we look at any galaxy, there are stars being born, there are stars that are fading away or supernovaing. So you may feel like you're in the midst or the aftermath of a supernova, but after that, the clouds start to form, new stars. I was talking to the last sign about this, and the cycle repeats as long as there are enough resources. So you're far from the end of things because we have the biggest resource card here, Queen of Pentacles. So this is your moment to claim or reclaim your energy, your resources, what matters to you, and to trust that something amazing is going to happen here. This is also thinking big, thinking bigger than you normally would. Now, with the galactic arms of the universe, things are moving at different speeds. And so you may be moving faster than others, they may be moving faster than you, but if you get that bird's eye view, you're all going where you need to be at exactly the right time. So focus less on the speed and more on, is this fulfilling? Is this achieving the goals at hand? Let's look at the cards now and see how you can be the most powerful, the most effective, the most plugged in to the opportunities with respect to wealth. So the main thing that I'm seeing here, again, is belief at the center, believing in what you do. If you don't believe in it, no one else will. If you can see it, others can see it. Speed will catch up with you as soon as that belief and then the action start to happen. You take action on a daily basis. You'll start to see a return on that action. Something that you thought, I can't, or I won't, or there won't be time for this, it's coming back and it's saying, you know what, I really want you to explore this. There's the piece from your past or a dream that you put on the shelf. If you want to explore it right now, look at what we've got. We've got the star card and we've got the galaxy here. So I see it being able to fit in to your timeline right now. So you have a second chance to do something that in the past, for some reason, you just didn't make time for, or you second guessed. You have to take care of yourself in this moment in time so that you don't lose momentum, so that you can channel more energy, so you can be more in tune with the things that want to come through right now. It's a really good time to apply yourself. This is, like I said, school, recognition, a job well done. It may not be immediate gratification for that job well done, but it definitely is. Keep doing what you're doing and don't sort of like take any unnecessary shortcuts or second guess yourself just because you're not seeing the acclaim. It's going to happen eventually, but it's in an unexpected way, shape, or form. Not just be authentic, but be bolder than you think you need to be in order to get something birthed or something sent out into the universe here. This is second chances. This is a phoenix rising from the ash. This is being able to overcome any sort of setback, unexpected setback, doubt of self, maybe trying to walk away from something. This is saying, no, I'm going to look at face to face, eye to eye, and I'm going to deal with it. And I'm going to walk away stronger and more empowered and better position. For those of you in a current job, might be time to leave. because this could be a big fish in a little pond. In other words, you've outgrown the situation and you can't get to the next level. So for some of you, you need to either have a conversation about growth and saying like, I feel stunted. I feel like this is where I need to be. How are we going to open that up? If you ask, you may be able to get it. If you can't get it, it may be time to move on and get it elsewhere. For some of you that are writers or artists, the Three of Pentacles shows me, again, job well done. This shows me eventual success, but there is something that you need to look at from a different perspective. Don't be afraid to completely like flip the script or do something different, because when you try something really outlandish, that's when it takes off. For those of you that are retired, there is a chance for you to do something for you now. This is your chance to sort of deal with loving, supporting, and embracing yourself. Some of you are going back to school. Some of you are just taking up a new hobby or something of that nature because you need to do something that just makes you feel happy and loved and supported. And also that's going to plug you into more community. And we're going to be looking at love in a second here, but you'll meet people by doing that. Overall, I like what I see. The only thing that's not ideal is the Seven of Swords, and it's kind of in your head space. So again, if it can be the voice in your head that convinces you to do something that you know you shouldn't do. So don't let that voice talk you into signing a contract, taking a job, or skipping something that your inner child wants to do. Listen to the inner child. Listen to your higher self, and tell that Seven of Swords energy to be gone. This is about honesty, transparency, and authenticity. And as long as you're connected to those things, you're going to pass with flying colors, basically. Let's move on to love and relationships next. We have Lord Ganesh coming through on this one of my favorite cards and one of my favorite ascended masters or deities to work with. It's basically showing the infinite abundance. Thank you very much, Queen of Pentacles. This is connected with that as well. This is saying you are worth this. You are worthy, you are worth the opportunities, you are pulling in love and abundance in the highest forms. It says obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. This is not just about romantic connections in your life. This message this month is saying if you need some help, reach out, because you've done a great job in the past of being maternal or paternal or a sort of listening ear. I'm sure all Libra have had an experience where at some point you've been in line at the supermarket or the bank or something, and someone just tells you their life story, because Libra are good listeners, right? And so this is your chance to have someone else hear what you have to say, have someone else support you, have someone else give you some energy, some resources, or to help you make the connection that you need. It's your turn now. And we're going to look at how to balance things out with respect to dynamics and relationships. This is also, Ganesha comes through as a breaker of barriers. So if there was something that wasn't working, communication, honesty, etc., Ganesha is coming through to either help you get past that or to help you break the pattern and move beyond that person or that experience. So you get a chance to fix it or to leave it behind in the past for good. And couldn't get a better card actually when we're looking at relationships. Let's break this down into 3 different areas: those in a relationship, looking for love, or single and happy. If you're in a relationship, potentially this is where the most work needs to be done. What I'm seeing here is one partner or another, maybe both of you are looking in a different energy or direction, but there's something going on where it feels like you're not completely on the same page. The Two of Wands is reversed, and it's 2 people looking in 2 different directions. So when we meet someone initially, a lot of times it's because there's common interests, common goals. When you're with someone for a while, what happens is, you may start off in parallel, but then one person goes this way or one person goes this way and the other person's still here. So what's happening right now is a chance to stop for a second and think, can we deal with the deviations in course? Do you want to follow me? Do I want to follow you? And I talked on the weekend about the energy of elevation. So a lot of times, in friends and family and partnerships, you'll see somebody kind of make this big growth spurt. And what happens is the other partner has a chance to meet them, maybe even go up here. And then it's like this sort of nice tug of war where you're constantly moving. Sometimes one partner's up somewhat, sometimes the other one is slightly ahead. But if there's too much of a disparity and the other person isn't working or they're going in the opposite direction, then there has to be a moment to sort of talk about what's happening. So this is about making sure that you still have the same goals, that you're talking enough, that both partners are feeling seen and heard, because I feel like that's the big opportunity right now, is to just kind of clarify that. This card in particular, the Eight of Swords, is saying, you don't see me, you don't hear me. Or you may be the partner and you're looking at the other person, you're not seeing the problems, but they're feeling it. So we never want to invalidate someone's experience. We never want to make them feel less than. So this is really about holding space and saying, I see you, how can I help you? And by the way, what you're seeing isn't something that I'm seeing here. So I hear what you're saying, but I'm not seeing it. So let me be of assistance however I can. I think letting them know that, you see them as strong, you see them as capable could be helpful. But if they're feeling insecurities, there's a certain point where you're not the doctor, you're not the therapist. And I've been saying this over the past few readings. It's okay to simply say, I want to help you, but you have to let me know how. And this may be more than I can help you with if you find yourself in that sort of situation. What I love about this is the deep past shows me the friendship and the love that was there and still is there if you guys want to access it. So this is a very firm foundation for those of you in a relationship, and this is the key to moving through the challenges. You're currently in a karmic cycle. So this is karma, the judgment card reversed, and this is the lesson. So the partnership right now is very much karmic. I see two very strong people here. The strength card can be you, the star can be your partner. Strength card is in reverse here. So you or your partner is needing a little bit more energy. We see someone else that's on this ascension path. And so there's a tug of war here for some of you because you're in different places or there's a disagreement. There could also be this sort of point of no return, which can also be judgment. There's still a rebound that happens after that for those of you that are ready to move on. But some of you have already made a decision. I need to do this for myself. Or your lack of support or vision is kind of pulling me into a different trajectory. So judgment reverse is a decision made, but acceptance isn't quite there yet. So some of you are just accepting the understanding that something different has to happen, okay? No matter how you slice this month, we have the Queen of Pentacles at the end, which puts you in a position of strength and empowerment. The important thing at the end of the day is that you feel strong, you feel supported, you feel nurtured. If you're not getting that from your relationship, it's time to move on. You are capable of helping your partner, but you need to also be receiving that. I want to see the King of Pentacles energy to basically counter that or support that. And I'm not seeing that right now. Okay. So working at making sure that there's give and take, ebb and flow. That's the most important thing for existing relationships. As we look at those of you that are trying to find love right now, I think the most important thing for you is to finish what you've started. Some of you are in the throes of school or projects or something that needs to be done, even a lesson that you're learning. And this is going to be important because once you've done that, you're going to pull in the highest possible partnership. This is definitely a time where you can meet someone new. We have a lot of different energies coming through, whether it's Aquarius or Leo, it doesn't matter, or there's a earth sign coming through. There's so many different higher energies. The main thing that I'm picking up on is past life and karmic. I see a really bold energy and personality that is mirroring that boldness from you, which is why I want you to really focus on believing in yourself, opening yourself up to trying something new, and focusing on your health. All of those things are going to help you be strong and pull in someone that's like that Queen of Pentacles, that knows how to not only take care of themselves, but also to return that and show some love and support to you. It is a good time to find love, but there is something that needs to be done. There is an old pattern of accountability that needs to be straightened out. And there may be something that you haven't dealt with just yet. Those things are more important than the partnership because if they're underneath the surface or in the foundation, they're going to chip away at that. So let's deal with those first. Then I see a karmic. This is a soulmate. I don't use that word that often, but if you're looking for love, you're probably pulling in a soulmate. If you're already in a relationship, you're in a karmic relationship where lessons from the past or soulmate energy is coming through. So a lot of soul energy, a lot of soulmate, a lot of old connections are coming through in November. It's a powerful period. We're getting very close to Halloween. The veil is already starting to get thin. The veil will be thin still for the first week of November. And so we're getting a chance to look at the past so that we can release the old patterns so we can learn from it. Reach out to ancestral and to familial energy in spirit and ask them for some guidance too. That's something I've been doing, and my mom's been coming through a lot and helping out, and spirit guides as well. So you can tap into it right now when you're listening to this live premiere, and anytime through the end of November. Again, the veil is thin and you can do a lot with it. So definitely do that. And that's true for everyone, not just for those looking for love. For those that are single and happy, this is about personal development, and you're going to just expand exponentially. This is exponentially here because we see recognition, we see this big splash, we see reinvention, and then we see abundance coming through, by the way. And it can get even bigger here because we saw that in wealth, galactic, we're looking at universal or galactic energy, not just the world, not just this tiny little globe. Think way bigger than that. Think universally. So for everybody, that applies as well. Whether you're single and happy or just trying to break out, that's what I see here. If you need help in your life, going back to Lord Ganesha, you have that connection here. Some of you feel like it's a weakness to ask for help. Don't. People see you and would like to help you. You've been such a great support for others in your life, many of you, that this is your chance to receive. No matter what, any block or any obstacle is actually there to help you get out of the cycle. And you are going to get a lot of messages from Spirit on what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Let's focus on your destiny card. It's about self. So it's nice that we just talked about single and happy because that is really focusing on, I think, the most important relationship, which is self-acceptance and love, self-love. If you don't have that, everything suffers in your life because you're looking to fill up that chalice, that Ace of Cups, with everything else. And sometimes that's love, sometimes that's money, sometimes that's habits in your life. And so we don't want to do that. This card is reversed. So let's read it upright and decide what you can do about it. So very simple, me time. It says, enjoy your own company. In this moment in time, if you're feeling claustrophobic, if you're feeling like, again, you're too plugged into everyone else, meditation is something almost everybody can access. You can do it while you're in the shower. You can just basically close your eyes and imagine that the shower is actually, light, clearing your energy, clearing your auric field. If you can take a bath, even better. You can do an Epsom salt bath. If you can get up a little bit earlier than if you're partnered or if you're a parent, and you have a family, get up before everyone else for a few minutes and just sit in the kitchen and meditate. Find the time where it's your time. And for some of you, like I put in the initial slide, you might need to take a break and get out into nature. Obviously, we're getting into winter months for the Northern Hemisphere, so that may be harder. But even just going to a different space, a library or a different office or a different room, all of these things are going to provide you the space. Take at least 5 minutes a day to tune into yourself and think, how do I feel? What's going on? Don't be afraid to talk to yourself, by the way, too, or to talk to a loved one in spirit. I do that. Talk to your higher self or talk to spirit or talk to a specific person. It's therapy, folks. It's free therapy. And you get answers. I get answers in the dreams, or when I meditate and close my eyes, I see things. So allow yourself to speak and send out what you need to, and then plug in. And that's what we see here. Spend some time with yourself and your spiritual family. It's going to be important. This is a nocturnal energy, so for some of you it may be just before you go to bed or just when you wake up, okay? Because sometimes those are the only moments that we can steal away. Wherever you can find it, do it. All right, the only exception is not if you're driving, but anywhere else is fine for the most part. Okay, let's go ahead now and get even further. We just expanded the forecast. Now I like to always pull an extra card here, which is basically going to allow us to see one big thing that can help us out. It's kind of like a key card. So let's unlock potential with the big idea and see how we can focus on that. Love the Eight of Pentacles. It's in really nice connection to the Three of Pentacles. So this is saying I'm not afraid to go back to the drawing board and adjust or edit. This is a card of learning. This card is basically saying you will finish, you will receive the accolades and support on this, but there's a little bit of work to be done. There's a little bit of adjustment here. So Eight of Pentacles pays attention to the small details. So if you're going to sign a contract or do anything, this is the time to roll up your sleeves, be hands-on rather, and really look at all the small stuff. You don't want to delegate that piece. This is also saying that if you really want to dig into something and learn about it, you can and will succeed. This is apprenticeship, and this is mastery. Getting both cards in the same reading portends really good things. Some of you may be doing a little bit of both. You might be learning, or you might be getting some advice from someone else, or being the mentor. However you want to approach it, Eight of Pentacles upright definitely shows me the ability to learn, apply, and expand your knowledge skills. Okay? Good stuff there. Also, I've got 2 cards for writers. The Eight of Pentacles is writing it down. The Three of Pentacles is publishing or distributing it, or having someone else want to read it or connect with it. So really good things with respect to both of those energies. Okay, let's go ahead now and take a look at 2 additional cards. We're going to look at blessings, things that are going to elevate and assist. We're going to look at blocks, things that could provide additional challenges or setbacks. And because we see it in advance, we can transmute them. So your card for blessings is going to be the Two of Cups. Yay! Your block is the King of Cups in reverse. All right, let's talk about these. All right, so the blessing, love in unexpected forms. This is love and friendship. And this is someone that wants to give you a hand. And we actually saw that with Lord Ganesh when I was looking at relationships. So it says, spiritual support and connections are increasing. Even if it's by just one extra person in your life, the Two of Cups can represent one more person coming in. This person is quality, and they see quality in you. This person is helping you step into some new version of yourself. This person is attracted to you because you are being authentic. This person is not a repeat of past lessons because you've graduated that. This is something new. Again, the blessing here is you also need to be able to accept. If someone says, hey, would you like to hang out? A friend, for instance, you say, yeah, let's do that. Even if you're a little shy or timid or whatever, same thing for a date. Or if someone wants to pay you more or lend support, if it meets your expectations, again, we had the Devil card in the channel messages. So you're going to go through it and sift through all the details, have your lawyer or you look at a contract or detail, make sure that it's okay. But then once it is, you say, yes, let's do this. There is love, there is support incoming. For those of you that are looking for love, the Two of Cups means great things. If you're stepping into the unknown and you're just single and happy, but you want to make friends, that's good. And if you're trying to resolve conflict in an existing relationship, all of that portends good things. It connects with Lord Ganesha as well. What's blocking you? You're sensitive this month. There's a lot going on. Some of you may be just overwhelmed, maybe with the stress at work. Maybe there's been a lot of loss or frustration in your life. Maybe you're just really plugged in emotionally. Your heart chakra is open. And I've had different moments in my spiritual experience where that happens. So when I first awakened, and this has been a while, but like 2008, 2009, where I remember just feeling the intensity of others' emotions. I was highly empathic. So I could almost feel like the person was right here, like almost feel their breath on my face. It was so intense. I have since learned to have really good boundaries and shields, so that doesn't affect me anymore. But in the beginning, I could feel that, and I could step into a room and feel a lot. So you might just be opening up, your heart chakra might be opening up so that you feel people's energies in a way that you didn't before. And what's important then is to set intention. You have boundaries. You don't have to heal everyone, feel everything, see everything. That's one thing as a medium and as a channeler and as a tarot reader that I've learned. There are times when I'm on and there's times when I'm off. When I'm off, when I'm walking the dog, when I'm going to the doctor, when I'm reading a book, when I'm spending time with friends, I'm not connecting to all that other stuff. I'm just present, like we would see with this. I'm present with the person in front of me. And there are times when I'm just present for myself, with myself. And that's really what you need to focus on, is creating better boundaries, because everyone that's a Libra has the ability to see things, connect to things, and be able to read things because you're air, you're moving through all of this. So ground yourself a little bit. That's why we have the Queen of Pentacles here, and decide, this is what I'm going to do. This is how much I'm willing to give. And not a penny more, not a minute more, because I need to take care of myself. Because at the end of the day, You do have finite resources. So mind your body, mind your resources, mind whatever those boundaries are, and make sure that others do the same. Okay? Powerful messages. This is a really powerful reading this month. I mean, I feel like every month is impactful, but especially so today, Libra. So again, it's my honor to be with you and to help you. I think some of you really are at this precipice of unlocking things. All right, so when I do a live premiere, I do reader's choices, and usually I'll try to still do 2. Let's take a look at the cards and see where there's an opportunity for you to have the most growth. I want to help you with expansion. Let's just do 1 at a time because I want to focus on it. Sometimes I get distracted if I pull 2 at once. So I want to focus on expansion first. So let's do that, and let's help you get through the sort of galactic energy here of this Milky Way, the star energy, and then I'm going to help you with the judgment card, breaking karma. But the first thing is, what's the big opportunity, Libra, to break out, to experience something new? What's this sort of expansion or visibility or success? Sorry, I'll turn the camera down so you can see me shuffle, and let's go from there. Actually, I already have a card that's sticking out here, so it's right there, 5 of Pentacles. Without a doubt, this is probably my favorite illustration of the 5 of Pentacles because it's showing the ability for you to step through any situation. You hold the key to resolving something from the past. A lot of times we hold on to a scar that because of something that someone said. Words have a way of really getting into our psyche, and they ricochet sometimes, and they create a little bit of a soul scar. So years after someone says or does something, we are still thinking about that conversation. And if somebody in your life gave you the indication through words, or maybe it was a teacher writing something on paper, but if somebody said, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you're going to fail, I don't believe in you, this is a moment I'll help you in the meditation as well, but I really want you to let that go. That was a single point of view. If you listen to the Weekend Collective, one thing that I talked about was when I helped a teacher, and we would look at all of these reviews, but I could see it even hurting him. He was helping me get a thicker skin, basically, and say, there's always going to be someone, even when you're giving 110%, that doesn't like what you do. And that's why I mentioned Taylor Swift with the Mean song, where she just kind of, in the best way possible, transmuted that and kind of like wink and nod, tongue in cheek. She just sort of said, I'm going to get past this, but you're still going to be mean. And this is just you being mean. So she did it through a song. But one thing you have to remember is that was just someone being mean or projecting their own insecurity. Don't let that hold you back. Take a note from Taylor and live bigger, live better, move beyond that. Basically, like a frog, leapfrog beyond that. So I like that. The 5 of Pentacles here, we see always a shelter. Sometimes we see another person. This person's feeling very alone, but usually there's another person that's not reciprocating. So if someone's not reciprocating, you already are getting your message that you can do better, you deserve more. But we usually see an open door behind someone, and all that needs to happen is they need to walk through it. So the big opportunity for expansion for you is to trust that you are more than you thought you were. You're more than someone else thought you were, and you have nothing to lose by trying. You have everything to lose by not trying something, by not giving it your best, giving it your all. And I think that sometimes we focus so much on I'm only going to do it if I succeed. I think you lose a lot when you focus just on getting A pluses. I think sometimes when you don't succeed, when you quote unquote fail something, you learn even more because you see what triggered you, you understand now what you want to work on, and if it's still something that you care about, you're going to double down and learn even more. So the door is open. Don't let the past inhibit the present. It isn't valid anymore. Also, don't accept less than the best and less than what's adequate at the very least. I want to see 6 of Pentacles at minimum for any opportunity. 6 of Pentacles is balance. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's a little more than you expected. It's giving you that sort of extra amount so that you can thrive. It's what we need in life to be happy. 5 of Pentacles, not enough. And you're not alone. Not anymore. There is someone or something that's coming through that's saying, I see you, I value you. But you have to value yourself first. So really work on loving yourself, on embracing that inner child, And in doing so, you're going to change the cycle. I think we've already hit upon judgment, but I'm going to validate, or not validate, but basically clarify judgment here. So I want to help you with this. What's the karmic cycle? Maybe even beyond this lifetime. What's the karmic cycle in a relationship, in your family, or whatever that's coming through that you really have a chance now to break and clear? Ten of Swords, no more pain, no more drama, to quote Mary J. Blige here. So we have the Ten of Swords reversed, which is a very empowered one. This particular deck takes a lovely approach with the Ten of Swords. What we see in this is a woman who is no longer in the traditional pose on the Ten of Swords, which would be in this sort of all the swords in her back, blood all around her, a dark day that's ending. She's now already in the new dawn. I'm going to pull the traditional card here, which is basically saying failure isn't really a part of this cycle anymore for you. And you never were a failure, and you don't have to kind of like see in such binary terms anymore. So one thing that I want you to focus on, especially though, is healing yourself. Like this card can indicate a lot of pain. It's a feeling that you've taken on, I think some of you've taken on the pain of others. So maybe you feel you're beating yourself up because there could have been a relationship in your life where you think, if I'd only done more, maybe we could have, it could have worked out. There could have been a family member dealing with addiction or challenges and you wish that you could have done more. Or you're just thinking could have, should have, would have about something. And there's this feeling of absolute regret or failure here. This card is saying, I'm done with that. And what awaits me is we can actually see the beautiful day there, the clearing. She's walking into the clearing and she's saying, yeah, that was a moment. There are things I may have changed. But look at who I have become because of that experience. It punctuated, it informed, and it empowered the current version of yourself, which is now very strong, very capable, and isn't going to meet the same experience possibly ever again, okay? The karma is you are poised for success. You are not defined by that moment. And the sooner you allow yourself to really move into healing, the better it's going to be for yourself and everybody involved, okay? This is a moment for healing. Do take care of your spinal health. This often has to do with pain that we can hold anywhere from our head, like the top of our neck, all the way to our tailbone. So if there's anything going on in your spine, see the appropriate professional for that. It's also energetic weight that we've been holding. 10 of Wands can become 10 of Swords, and we carry with us that feeling of failure or pain. So you are not that. You are so much more than you imagine, okay? Let's expand this even further and look at Sun, Rising, and Moon. Sun, Rising, and Moon messages, again, helping us tune into this. You can watch this for any aspect of your chart, but I'm going to help you see each of these as we select some cards here now. Sun, Rising, Moon. All right, let's begin with Sun sign messages. Page of Wands. This is really beautiful for any Libra Sun. Page of Wands is basically saying in this moment in time, people are open to what you have to show. You are also you're always a good communicator, but this month you're especially poised to be great when it comes to interviews, first dates, anytime that you have to put yourself out there, even if you feel that internal butterflies that we talked about here on the Path of Thorns. Don't doubt yourself. Other people are seeing so much more. And again, this kind of harkens back to what we were seeing with this Eight of Swords cards, which is limitations in your own imagination. And we don't want that anymore. So give it a shot. Let it go. The Page of Wands is throwing the baton or the wand in the air and saying, I believe in this. What do you think? Or I think that I'm willing to throw my hat into consideration for this, or I want to do this. She's bold. She's ready. She's going for it. And this is a month to really allow yourself to do this. It could be good news. And I feel like you're able to kind of throw yourself in the mix of any situation and thrive. You're very much in your power this month. Don't be afraid to give feedback, input, or share insights, because all of that is what the Page of Wands represents. what do you think about this? Or I'm excited about this, or let's talk about this. Put it out there and don't have any self-deprecating pieces to it. Because what happens, and this is something that we can let go of this month collectively, you may say, or you may have been trained to say something like, this may sound odd, or I may not have a lot of experience, or maybe this sounds outlandish or something like that. Don't put that in front of your idea. Don't diminish your potential. Just say it. Just put it out there, and better yet, sprinkle some special sauce on it and say, I think this might be really cool. What do you think about this? If you're gonna do something, talk it up. Don't deflate it, okay? And that's what this page is doing. She's putting on a show. She's kind of talking things up a little bit, and she's gonna get things done. She's not just a messenger, by the way. And we're not just messengers. There's something special. You know this from mediums and from tarot readers. There's room for all different types on this network and others, because we all bring something special. There's some people that have a sense of humor. There's some people that are really positive. There's some people that are really blunt. And it's like, spices. Each person's going to tune into a different one. So put it out there. Put your special sauce out there, but don't diminish yourself, and don't think that you don't have a seat at the table. You do. All right. Let's now move on to our rising signs. So we have rest. This one is very nicely connected to no less than two of the cards here. Me time, saying take some time for yourself. Also the strength card, which was reversed, and it's really important for you to prioritize physical well-being right now. And then breaking, for some of you, a cycle with the judgment card and saying, I'm ready to move on beyond this, or I'm going to take this as a wake-up call to do better. And ultimately, you're going to pay close attention to house and home. Queen of Pentacles is connected to house and home. If you really want to focus on one part of your house, it would be your bedroom. The Four of Swords is the space that you spend, or wherever you're going to spend with meditation and sleep. So if you have a separate meditation room, or if your bedroom is like your everything, or if you live in a studio, you just need to clean things up and make sure that there's a sense of calm and tranquility, especially where you're spending the most time. I would actually say don't underestimate the importance of having an office experience that's good. So if you're working from home, like many of us are doing, make sure that you have a separate space for where you do your Zoom meetings or your school or whatever, versus where you watch TV versus where you go to bed. And you can even do that in one room and make sure that that's okay. My previous apartment, not the one that didn't work out, but it was very small. So I had a space for my office, and then the TV was in a separate space. And if I wanted to meditate, I would go into the bedroom. I didn't have a lot of space. It was just 2 rooms. So, you can make a lot with very small spaces. I've done that before, and I'm doing that even here. There's not a lot of space in this Airbnb, but I do make sure that the spaces are clear. So one is for sleeping, one is for working, one is for maybe, just having fun and watching TV or looking at my iPad, whatever. So clear those spaces up and mostly slow it down a bit. This month, you're not meant to go on all cylinders all the time. Let your heart heal. Notice how with the Four of Swords, we see the healed Three of Swords heart is now here. So she's kind of throwing it back out there, getting ready to go fishing, maybe for love, maybe for new experiences. But she's saying, I need a little bit more time to heal this, but time does heal everything. So rest, recuperate, and basically regroup. I feel like this is a month for you really to regroup and reset. All right, exciting for those of you that are looking at how to kind of put yourself out there again. So when we're looking at rising and ascendant, one thing that I want to mention with this too is this is the way that others are looking at you. So what I see is that your calm demeanor is very nice. If you are trying to make a splash though, this is the only time that I'm going to modify it, because you are meant to be seen as a little bit bolder here. So this card was reversed, which is muted, and this is a very muted energy. And some of you may be doing that for fear of being hurt. But when it comes to making a splash in career, don't worry. You've got this, okay? So for everyone else under the ascendant where you're just taking care of yourself, that's fine. But if you're trying to make a shift, it's okay to be a little bit more bold, because you're coming across as a little more timid or a little bit more quiet. And we want to see the boldness coming through, because you've got the Strength card, the Star card, the Judgment card, the Queen of Pentacles. These are all really, really strong energies. And basically, the message here is for rising and ascendant, you've got this and you can do this. All right, moving on to Moon. we have the card of survivors, the Nine of Wands. You are nobody's fool. You are, you've got your ninth life coming in here, like I talked on the weekend about the cat. There's 9 lives also with the Nine of Wands, and you are punching back right now and saying, I am ready. I'm coming out. I'm ready to fight. I'm going to do what I need to do. And then the Judgment card is just that. It's rising from the ashes. With this, there can sometimes be a momentary pause where you think, I am tired though, and I do want to see things coming through. How much longer, universe, will it take? Not that long. But the one thing that you don't want to step into is doubt, feeling like you're in the dark, doubting yourself, letting go of your physical well-being, not taking some sort of a wake-up call as just that, because everything wants to put you in this empowerment, wants to put you into this expansion. And we saw here that there's a chance to really grow in this moment of time, and that there's a lot of love and support that wants to come through right now. So allow it to come through and understand that you have worked really, really hard to get to this moment. And the next card is Ten of Wands, which is basically expansion and moving on. It is a card of movement. It's one of the travel cards, like Ten of Wands, Eight of Cups, and the World. And there's a lot of different cards that show movement and travel, and the Ten of Wands shows that. So you're very close to getting over that hill and getting onto a place where you can coast a little bit more. So don't give up now. This is a time to really push. The moon part of your chart can often show internal turmoil or growth that's happening within. With getting the Judgment card and the Ten of Swords reversed, what I see here is a choice to experience more joy, to move beyond a perceived failure, and to just feel like anything is possible. And I think if you can use that mantra this month, for those of you as Libra Moon, it's going to help quite a bit, and it's going to help you move beyond the sort of feeling like you're afraid of repeating history. You're not going to. Possibility includes the possibility of success. So we are now at the final portion and the most important portion. It's 3 parts. We start off with meditation, then we'll move into a sound bath, and then at the very end, I pull a final card to help you with a question that you're meditating on. So think of what it is that you need more clarity on. It can be a yes/no sort of question. It can be something a little deeper. Scribble it down, tap it into your phone, put it to the side for a moment. And together, let's meditate. And let's look and see what the cards are bringing through. I really like this Judgment card, this ability to sort of like jump into a new you. And I like this inner child energy too. So we're going to meet our inner child in our meditation today. And we're going to love our inner child, or our self, our higher self, however you want to look at it. So take a moment now and get into a comfortably seated position. I'm going to do the same. Let's prepare for the meditation, and then we'll go from there. All right. So get comfortably seated. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. And then a very nice and slow exhale. Relaxing your shoulders, your neck, and your back, opening your mind and opening your heart to receiving all the love, all the support, all the healing energy that wants to come through from the universe today. Okay, so imagine yourself sitting at a campfire in the middle of this open clearing here. You can see the night sky above you, all the constellations in the firmament shining down, one of the arms of the Milky Way wrapping across the sky. And as you stare into the fire in front of you, you can see all these little tiny sparks going up, and they kind of meet the stars. You see some smoke and all these little tiny sparks, and it's almost like they're going up to meet the constellations above. Take a moment to connect to the earth plane, since we saw the Queen of Pentacles as your outcome. Put your hands on the ground and connect and say, I am here. I count. I am present. I am part of this experience of living, of this. I'm part of the world. I'm present, and I'm ready to receive. Imagine that just like a tree, you could plant your feet or plant your hands in the ground, and you really feel like you're pushing that energy deep into the crust, so that you know that as you start to spiritually expand and go out for a second, you can come right back to where you're at. Now, in the flames of the fire, I want you to see something dancing, a younger version of yourself, basically, coming through, and it's kind of dancing, and it's just this orb of light. And then it eventually comes out and you can see it as a younger version of you. Just beautiful golden energy. There's no heat. It's just basically spiritual energy that came through the light of the fire. And it stands in front of you. And you take a moment and you stand as well. And it could be whatever age you felt that there was some sort of a block. So maybe it was a few years ago, maybe it's you as a little baby. Whatever age or whatever point in your life this moment happened where there was pain or fear or doubt, I want you now, basically the younger version of yourself is pulling out a hand, or maybe it's opening up its arms. And if you want to, just take a moment and embrace this version of you and feel that this version of you hugs you really tightly. And it's saying, you are amazing. Like, you are more than I ever thought that I could be, right? And because in that moment, that younger version had the fear or the lack or the doubt, and it's seeing now, I had nothing to worry about. And you're telling that younger version of yourself too, I've got us. I'm going to take care of us. We're going to be okay. You're right. I did turn out okay. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, right? Sorry that it was difficult. I'm sorry you felt like you were alone. You're not alone now. So continue to embrace until that inner child melts into you. And you feel now the joy, the happiness, the love, the unconditional love that maybe you didn't feel in the past. The Five of Pentacles is gone. You don't need the love from teacher, from mom, from someone else, from a boss, from whoever it was that you were looking for. You got it from yourself. And you feel now like your heart is just emboldened and it's blazing with this beautiful golden light. It's reaching through your crown chakra. It's reaching through each and every pore in your body. And now with your feet planted on the planet, your higher self, just like the Judgment card, is reaching up with the little flames of the fire, and it's going to touch the stars above. So I want you to find your star, your higher self, reach out and touch that, and then bring some of that energy into your physical being as well. Do that as we meditate, and then I'll take a look at your final card. As I play the singing bowl, it's going to be important to continue to breathe so that you can bring that energy into your physical being. Take a moment now to come back fully into your body. Gently move your fingers and your toes. Bring your hands together. Place your left on your heart, right on top of that. Seal in the intention that you are ready. You are worthy. You are willing to accept and receive the opportunities that are about to unfold for you. Now is the time that we're going to look at one final card that you might have for me. So whatever it is that we haven't yet had a chance to look at, this is your moment to do so. So just call into this moment in time, whatever question exists, and I'm going to take a look and see what Spirit has to say. All right. So we had the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups came through in the reverse state. What we're seeing here is a blessing in disguise. Something better than anticipated, something in a shape or form that you may not be ready or expecting to see. We have the rainbow here with that extra cup, showing that after a period of pain or discomfort, something good is coming. So if you've been going through a rough period, something better is coming. Even if things have been good, there's still something better. Look at this hidden hand here. It's the first time I've seen it. So in Rider-Waite-Smith, you would always see it in the air above. So here there's something that's like a low-hanging fruit, or it's like right in front of her. So there's a chance, if you can imagine that it's going to work out, that it will work out. Something better is coming. As a yes-no, the Four of Cups is saying, you're missing something. It's not a yes-no. It's saying yes, but there's something under the surface that you haven't considered. So be more discerning and be more detail-oriented. Take a look at it again, because there's something bigger than the question that you've asked. Generally speaking, it's a pause question. So I would say it's a not yet, or it's a yes, but you've missed something. So look a little deeper. For those of you that didn't ask a yes, no, but you're wondering, how much longer do I have to wait? Not much longer. You just have to look at something from a different perspective. And for those of you that are wondering why me, the Four of Cups says comparing yourself to others is not very effective. What you want to look at is, how can I learn from this? Thank you for the experience. I don't really need this experience anymore, but in order to dismiss it, I have to integrate the lesson. So what can I learn from this? This should be really be the question. And as you're looking at that, it's that there is a lot to love. Because if we take that extra, one, you have an opportunity in front of you. This also shows, if we then look at the other three cups, there could also be a lot of people and things coming into your life. There's a lot going on around you. So I would say the opportunity right now for everybody is to plug in a little bit more, reach out a little bit more, connect a little bit more, and you'll be surprised by what that affords you in the realm of new love, new opportunities, new experiences. This was really magical today. I mean, every reading that I do is different, but for whatever reason today, the folks that showed up or are about to show up, you've called in some really transitional energy, some really powerful energy. And as a reader, that's always fun for me to be able to be present and to help channel and bring forth. Okay? I hope you enjoyed today. Please help the channel grow if you did. I know a lot of you might be here for the first time. Even if you liked one part of this, just hit subscribe. I do a lot of different stuff, including 1-minute dailies. So if you're busy, that might be something that you're interested in looking at. So hit the subscribe button. Opt into notifications as well as liking. And if you'd like to make sure you don't miss anything, you can also follow me on social media. Remember, I don't offer any private readings and I don't use direct messages, but all that notwithstanding, please do give me a like and follow, and I'll put the links for that. And if you'd like to show some support before we wrap up, remember you can always gift a membership, become a member, or use Super Chat or Super Stickers as a way to give back to the channel. And you can also go to my website and look at some of the decks that I have, and those are affiliate links, and that helps out as well. So anything of that nature is a way to give back if you'd like. I like to end with gratitude each and every time that I do a reading and just say thank you. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your support and for you spending time and trying to work on yourself. So it's my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here today. All right, take care of yourself, Libra. I'll be back later this week. A reminder that I do either lives or live premieres every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. The Sunday readings are for everyone. So if you need a 7-day forecast, check my main page. It's always the main featured video there. And I also, like I said, will do daily videos both here and on other social media platforms. So those 1-minute readings are available to everyone. All right. In the meantime, take care of yourself. We'll be doing a special for Halloween this year, so check that out as well on the 31st. And until I see you next, have a great one. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.